Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'm going to do a detailed unboxing of OrcQuest Warpath, which was kickstarted originally by Maze Games and later picked up by Monolith Games, and they put all of the stretch goals and all of the expansions into a second box. So now we have two huge boxes for all the content of OrcQuest Warpath. If you'd like to know more about the history of this game and how it got made in the Kickstarter, I have made a Kickstarter preview video for the Monolith Kickstarter, which was the second one basically, because the first one was done by Maze Games. Check out the video by clicking the I in the corner of this video, and there I explain a bit more about that. But now that it is finally in backers' hands, I'm very excited to start unboxing this. But before I do, I would like to ask you for a favor, and please hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. And you can also support what I do by visiting my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below. And in return for being a supporter, you'll get your name in the credits, early access to all of my videos, and also access to some Patreon exclusive content. All right, thanks a lot. Let's start opening these boxes. Right, so this is the first box, OrcQuest Warpath, a game by beanie and Thomas Moffroy, with some amazing looking art. Look at the muscular orc barbarian there, and there's the wizard orc, and there's the sneaky goblin, and some other characters. No, there's in the corner, there's the archer, and there's the humans here, and some rat men, and all kinds of enemies that they encounter in this game. It's really cool. And on the sides we have some details of that art, as you can see there. And here we have a vertical OrcQuest Warpath, if you want to store the box vertically, which is always appreciated. Here is another horizontal with the logo and the archer, really cool. And another one here. So, and you can see how tall this box is, and both of these boxes are equally tall, so that's huge. And on the back of the box we have the game in progress set up here with a couple of tiles, and the player boards here, and some cards. You got equipment. There's the spawning box where you roll dice, and then that determines where you spawn enemies when you open a new room. The components are listed here, and a little bit of flavor text there. It's a game for 1 to 6 players, plays in about 90 minutes for ages 14 and up. All right, well, get yourself a drink and some snacks, because this is going to be a long one. All right. Whew. First of all, we get a bit of a filler cardboard here, which I will keep for now. Maybe I'll need it. Then we have a booklet with Gorebag's Tales. On the menu, Sewer, Fever, Beast in the Woods, Blood for Blood, Elven Vestiges, Gorebag's Tales. Over there. So these are, I assume, missions, campaign that you can play. So yeah, this is Sewer Fever, there's a campaign, this is a mission. And this seems like an arena with barbarians. And here's the elves. Oh, we get a bit of a comic book there, Orcs Upon a Time. That's pretty cool. Fun. They had these during the Kickstarter as well. It's kind of fun. And well, there's a whole bunch of that's a lot of comic book. So I guess this might have been one of the stretch goals originally. I'm not sure anymore. It's been a long time, but they did have the comics, like I said, and I guess this was the comic book, which also has 4 extra missions. Might have been it. I'll put that there. Ooh, we get a really nice print of the Cthulhu orc, if I remember correctly. Look at that. That is a really nice art print. And on the back we get a summary. So this is basically just your summary reference sheet. It's a reference sheet, but with such nice art on such a nice piece of paper. It has a bit of a, yeah, I don't know what kind of finish this is. The paper itself has a kind of structure to it. Feels really nice. So I'm almost tempted to just frame this and hang it on the wall. So that's really cool. Quest book, here we go. So this is just the quests, chapters 2, 3, and then we get chapter 2, quest 1, 2, 3. Chapter 3, quest 1, 2, 3, and a final quest. So that's 10 quests in this booklet. All right. We have, of course, a rule book, which is pretty thick. It's quite a bit of a rule book there. We got all the components listed here. All right. We got an overview, game turn, setup, how the sheets work, orientation. So this is basically where the rules actually start. Line of sight, range. Boy, that's quite a bit. It's gonna be a lot to take in. I hope it's not too much. There's a lot of images in here though, and a lot of pictures that explain how things work, and tables and stuff. So, but still, quite a lot. We shall see. All right, glossary, which is handy. I'll keep this here for reference. Then we've got, ooh, that's a whole bunch of punch boards. All right, well, let's take a look at those. These are the tiles, I guess. So I'll put this to the side for now, and we'll have a look at these punch boards and see what kind of stuff we have here, and the tokens. All right, just try and open that. All right, so first of all, we have these tokens. So those are presence tokens, and they have this on the back, tentacles here. These look like heroes then, I guess. Yeah, those look like the heroes. So we have hero tokens as well. All right, so that's the first. Here's another one. We also have these effect tokens here. Status effects, I presume. Again, yep, the heroes here and these characters. There's traps here. All right, pretty cool. Then we have more of these. And we have this as well. These piggies. All right. I don't know what that is. Probably just some kind of scenery. And a little room here. Oh, there's the spike trap there. Okay. Oh, they come out really easily. And another one with some undead here. And the barbarians there. Another room. This is another tile with a grate and some stumps. Oops. Yeah, they come out real easily. Well, that's fine. More spike traps there. Oh, look at this. OrcQuest Warpath. Oh, this is the spawn area. Yeah. So this is what you assemble into a kind of a box, and you keep those inside. So you create a room with a number of squares, and then you roll your dice in that. That's really nicely done, and it's quite unique as well. All right, look at that later. We have more of these effect tokens. We have damage tokens. We have patrol tokens and bell ringer tokens. On the back, there's a bell. More of these presence tokens, hero tokens, and some more scenery, I guess. Stuff that you can find. Spawn zone, patrol entries. some more scenery there, beds and a desk, and a double door and single doors, broken doors. And this is what they look like on the back. All right. And another one, more of the same, basically. Yep. All right, so again, the back looks like this. And the third one, also damage tokens, effect tokens, doors, scenery, the hero entry and exit tokens, and more of these presence tokens. And this on the back. So that's a whole bunch of tokens. We get lots of tokens. All right, next in the box we had some of these tiles, a whole bunch of them, and the bigger tiles as well. So I'm gonna just take all of that out. So let's start with the smaller ones. I'll start with these. All right, so in this package we had a little outdoor area here, 3x3, and an indoor room on the other side. There's another smaller room, 3x4, and what looks like a dungeon room on the other side. So that's pretty nice. Another one here, and I have to say the art for these look really good. Absolutely beautiful art on the tiles. So we have those, and then we have the badass track, where you keep track of the points you gain that you can spend to do, you know, badass feats. And let's see, on the back it's just OrcQuest Warpath. And then we have the alert gauge, and one of those punch boards had the alert level marker and also the badass token. So that's pretty cool. Again, this on the back. All right, let's open this up. So these are 5 more tiles, bigger tiles. So here are some streets in the sewers, actually. Sewers with rooms. So that's pretty cool. Really thick cardboard as well. Nice and sturdy. And here is more sewage. And another extra rooms there. That's pretty nice. This is an outdoor scene with some kind of ruined building. Looks really cool. Tree stumps. Nice. I really like the details of all the little flowers and the ferns. And on the other side is another, this looks like a street with cobblestones and a couple of rooms inside a house. So that's really nice. Another one of those outdoor tiles. Cool. And another street. All right. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous art. Here, this looks like a mine or a cave of some sort. Also really nice. And ooh, this looks nice and spooky. Some kind of cave, haunted, it seems. That's really nice. They do seem to have these darker spots, which look like it's a pit, but they didn't indicate with any colors or dotted lines that they are impassable or dangerous in any kind. So I'll have to look that up in the rules. Usually they kind of color code the tiles. And another one of those underground caves, and one of these as well. Okay, cool. Let's open up the next one. So, another forest with all the trees here, a bit of a path on one side, and another one on the other side, another path. Okay, so forest scene, another forest scene. Lots of detail. And another forest scene with a little pond. Cool. Skeleton there. All right, then we have another sewage level. Here you can see the water, and then a grate there, and several rooms with pumps and pipes. And another one on this side. Usually they would print like one side with one theme and the other side with the other theme. Now it's kind of double-sided, so it's a bit of a shame, because then you could make one huge map with sewers. I'll see how that works. Well, we have another big package of tiles here. So these are the bigger ones. Here is a outdoor, kind of like a farm scenery. Some trees there. There's a little shack there with a wooden floor and a carpet. There's an axe there and 2 sheds, I guess. That looks really nice. And the other side has an indoor castle or dungeon map with 4 rooms and a big corridor. Next one is another farm with a field here, a little pond again, 2 little houses. And see, this is what I expect from tiles, to have one theme on one side and the other on the other side. Well, this looks really nice as well. Inside the castle, I guess. And another farm scenery. Another pond. And more castle grounds. Yeah, this looks like it's been open to the elements for a while. Another farmhouse or storage perhaps. A couple of trees here. I like that they kind of cut off the trees here, but you do see the shadow of the leaves above. Another dungeon or castle. 3 big rooms. All right, and another forest tile here. Lots of trees there, a path, little house, maybe it's a guardhouse. Ooh, this is like a throne room, I guess. That looks really cool. Yeah, really nice. Nice lighting. And another forest with a path. And more rooms in a castle. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of different, very nice looking tiles. All right, which makes the box a lot lighter all of a sudden. With 2 of these dividers for keeping the tiles in place. And then I guess we get all the miniatures. So there's a couple of trays in here. We have OrcQuest 1A. And OrcQuest 1B. All right, that's what's inside the box. See how deep that is. Giant box. Well, let's start with box A. So there we go. Oh, exciting. All right. Ooh, that's a lot of miniatures. 2 trays in here even. All right, well, let's go buy them one by one. So we have a whole bunch of these guards on square tiles. The tiles do not have any details on them, just smooth tiles. But the miniatures themselves look really detailed. I like that you can see the wood grain in the shield on the inside there. You can see the folds in the clothing, the details on the armor, on the chests and on the legs, holding a spear. Oh, even the rooster on the shield there. That's really nice. So we have that. That's the guard, and the plastic is a harder kind of plastic, but it is slightly bendy. So yeah, sturdy enough. It's not the super flexible kind, so you do need to be careful of breakage. But it won't break immediately. It can take a bit of a hit. So we have, let's see, 8 of those. Then we have what seems to be 6 of these halberdiers, I guess. A big halberd in the kind of in the shape of that rooster, the cock, on the emblazoned emblem there. So kind of the same as the previous guy, but different pose. And a different weapon. So those are pretty nice as well. So they go in here. Then we have a wizard or a mage holding a staff and a book. Yeah, that looks really cool. He's got a scroll hanging on his hip and a big amulet around his neck. So we have that dude. I think that goes in like this. Then we have two of these. I think these were the, what are they called? Officers. I have a pistol and a monocle and a sword on their belt. They look very fancy. They have a curly mustache. I approve. So we have two of those. Then we've got these farmers, peasants with the pitchfork. It's pretty nice. It looks pretty gruff. Does not like orcs on his land. It's got a little coin pouch there, tattered clothing. Yes, very, very peasant-like. We have 8 of those. Then we have these soldiers, knights, with a pretty large sword, broadsword, and nice looking helmet with feathers, lots more plate armor than the guards. So those are nice. We have 4 of those. Then we have 4 of these dogs, big old war dogs with a strap and a bit of an armor piece on their chest, which is pretty cool, with a skull. It's really nice. So yeah, they can send the dogs on you, 4 of those. Then we have these rat men, or skaven if you will. Look pretty cool. Again, lots of detail. There's the segments on the tail. There's got some fur on their back. He's got a couple of pouches. He's got a club. All right, so we have the Ratmen, 8 of those. That is the first tray. Let's move that out of the way. The second tray, oh, even has a cover. That is very interesting and well done. All right, so then we have more Ratmen. These have a slingshot, and a shield on their back. Also really nice. A little pouch there. Yeah, so we have 8 of those. Then we have these gnolls. These are female gnolls. I think they only had the one gnoll sculpt, didn't they? Or did they have a second sculpt unlocked? I forget. Not entirely sure anymore. But these are gnolls, and they're big and nasty. They've got a bow and fur. They've got this mace with the spike on the end. Oh, please stay in focus, camera. There you go. There you go. On the back is the bow. Yeah, that's pretty cool. A whole bunch of gnolls. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of those. Then we have this, I believe this was an elf. It doesn't list these in the booklet, so this is expansion stuff. Because the gnolls and the elves and the dwarves and the ratmen, those were all originally separate expansions. So they just tossed them in with the main box to save on cost. Monolith decided to just make everything into the big 2 boxes, put it all together to save on costs. Here is another Ratman. I guess it's a shaman, because they have the staff with the skull and some magical effects going around, I guess. I think. Not entirely sure what that is on the top. There is a ring around it, so it seems to be something solid. Might just be the end of the stick and some cloth. and a pouch, and a rope as a belt. Oh. All right, 4 of those. Then we have these elvish archers with a longbow, pulling the string kind of sideways, it seems. But yeah, cool dynamic pose. Ready to loose their arrows. They got a quiver on the back and even a sword on their belt. So we have those. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 of those as well. And we have this guy, some kind of elite elvish warrior, I think. Can't look it up in the book because it's not in the book. But yeah, that looks pretty intimidating. I like the weapon they have. Oh, there's 4 of those in the box, and then we have 6 of these elvish sorceresses with a staff and some kind of fireball effect in their left hand. Flowing robes, long hair. Yeah, pretty nice. Okay, so that is the second tray. All right, let's put this box on the side. Let's go for the next one. Box B. Oh, has the bigger models and the heroes in green. So let's take a look at these guys first. So bigger. These are wargs. That is pretty cool. Look at these wargs. Look at the face. That's very nice. Very detailed. They've got some armor on their backs. And a saddle. Some pouches. That is very cool. The other side looks like this. Yeah, definitely wargs. Super cool. We have 3 of those in here. We got, yes, this, what was it? Is it the cockatrix? Yeah, I think it is. So we have these wings that, yeah, let's see, does this go in here? Yes, it does. This should go in here. Yeah, there you go. And this goes in here. You can't go wrong. There's only one way to fit these. There you go. So here it is, the cockatrix, or cockatrice, whatever you want to call it. The wings spread out intimidatingly. Lots of feathers and scales. That's a really cool miniature. Really like that one. But it's pretty tall, so if you want to keep it in the box, you're gonna have to keep it separate like this. It's pretty tight when you put it together, and but then you can still take it apart and put it back in the tray. Here is the Gnoll matriarch, big old Gnoll matriarch with one of those maces and a axe. Lots of ornaments, chain mail, or yeah, these little plate mail things, and a big old belt with a gnoll face, and a fur cape. It's really cool, sculpted fur cape. It looks like she doesn't have a head from the back because it's hunched. That's pretty cool. And there's I guess a human or maybe an orc face there on her belt. Cool. So we have that. But look at the heroes first before we check out the big guy over there. So we have, I think, Oris over here in green plastic, but still very detailed. Just like the art, very muscular, very big and intimidating. On his right hand, he's got a human head, it seems, and in his left hand he has a sword, so he's left-handed. That's cool. Yeah, really nice. Right, so the second hero here, I forgot the name of, because again, he's not in this rule book, because that only has the 4 core heroes. But we have this orc, this lanky, tall orc with a knife and a spear. So maybe he's got some kind of ranged combat, or just a spear that has an extra square of range or something like that. Not entirely sure. Again, it's thin, it's a little bit bendy. If it's bent too much, then you can always fix it with some hot water. He also has some fur on the back. And yeah, a little skull on the belt. Nice little details like that. Then we have, I believe, Mary Bess or something. She was a also stretch goal, I believe, or a reward for early backers. But they, again, Monolith just put everything in the box. And she's like a druid, I believe, an orcish druid. She's got the ceremonial dagger. She's got a little bird on her hand, on the staff there. And there's a skull on the end of that staff. And the bird, it could be a raven or a hawk or something, falcon. So yeah, she's pretty cool. Then we have this dude with the crossbow, who looks like a highway orc, highwayman orc, in the full highwayman clothing, and even the hat, the big crossbow on the back. That's a huge crossbow. So there's that. Then we have this wizard, Mandar, I believe, one of the original 4 orc heroes. He's got the magic effect going on there. Long beard, and his hat is so floppy it hangs over his face, but he does have a hole that he can look through. There's a bit of a cape, tattered cape. I do like the hat. So that's that. Then we have Thala, or Thalia, the ranger, holding her bow. She's got a cool mohawk, like that a lot. And a quiver on the back, and a sword for close combat. So there's that. Then we have this dude here, also some kind of shaman. And he's small, so he could be like a goblin or a hobgoblin or something rather. The heroes aren't only orcs. They do have a couple of other species that join them. He's got the staff with the goat skull, the ram skull. And he's got a very long fur, or is that feathers? I think it's feather cape. Feather cape and the ram's horns on his head. So that's pretty cool. Then we have this character I don't remember. It's a female character with very long hair. Extremely long hair all the way to her feet. She's got jewel blades. This could be a dark elf with jewel blades. That could just be there, because the heroes in this game are kind of like classic villains. We have this guy. Another one I don't quite recall. This might be a hobgoblin, actually. I'm not entirely sure anymore. I guess in the second box we'll find booklets that explain all of their names. I'll list them. He's got a shield with a skull on it. He's got this mace. He's got a helmet. Yeah, kind of Viking-like. Then we have Mech, the sneaky goblin thief, who reminds me of Styx from Blades of Darkness, I think the game's called. I'm not entirely sure. There's a stealth game where you play a goblin, stabby goblin, who needs to be stealthy Really nice game. And this dude is definitely, reminds me of that. Might be a nod. But I do like a sneaky stabby little goblin fella. Anyway, this guy, Minotaur hero. He's got the hooves there. He's huge. Got horns. He's absolutely massive. Big body, big arms. He's got the, you know, the three-fingered hands. He's got a huge mallet, a war hammer, and he's got the fur on the back there. He's got a tail, of course. So a big bovine hero here. His base is also bigger. It's 2x2, I guess. So we have that. Then we have this one. Now, this is interesting. This is this little gnomish dude. And he's summoning some kind of fire demon or fire elemental. That is pretty awesome. He's got a fur cape. He's holding up his hands. He's got these little bone knuckles. It's got Wolverine knives strapped to his hands. He's got a bare belly there, a little bit of a chubby belly. That's pretty cool. Really nice with the effect there. And then we have this guy, this ogre. Big-bellied ogre. Really typical ogre. I love that. A bit of a Warhammer-like ogre, you know, the kind that eat their prey, their victims. Everyone they slay in battle, they eat. And he does, in fact, have like the bones like strapped through his skin on the upper side here, resembling teeth, and then these bigger teeth or bones in his belt. So it does look like his belly has the maw on it, which is also a Warhammer thing. So very classic ogre. He could be an ogre chieftain. So this is certainly a figure I very much like, with the skulls and the fur and everything. Super cool. So those are the heroes in this box. And then, of course, finally we have this big Cthulhu monster. Very cool. He's coming from the deep, obviously. He's got a fishing net around his belt. He's got the ropes from, no doubt, a sail from a boat that has sunken. He's got the tentacles on the hands and on the face there. He's got a skull there, somehow gripped by a tentacle. And he's carrying this huge anchor as a weapon, which is super cool. He's got the little wings. So that's pretty cool. A spawn of Cthulhu, I guess. Or Cthulhu Orc, as I believe they called him that. But that is really cool. Nice big figure. Lots of detail. Standing on a rock. So that is that tray. Lots of really, really cool figures. And those are all the figures in the first box. Let's move on to the next. So here is the second box, and I guess this box holds all the hero sheets and the enemy sheets and the cards, because we haven't seen any of those in the other box. So this really is just a complete package divided up into two boxes. The cover features, I'll just leave it like that because of the glare, features some barbarians. Here is the orcs fighting in an arena. Here is a Minotaur. This looks like our Minotaur hero because he's got the big Warhammer. This is so this might be a hybrid Minotaur orc, Minotaur, and this is an actual Minotaur. Here's the barbarian king sitting on a throne watching the battle going on here in the pit. So that's pretty cool. Detail of that on the side. Sideways art here for vertical storage. And another detail of the battle here and here as well. The back of the box seems to have more or less the same setup as the other box, with the tiles, the game in play, character boards, miniatures. So yeah, we have that. So this does say that it has hero sheets and enemy sheets, and I wonder if the other box has. Let me just quickly take a look, because now I am curious to see. I'll have to hold everything in place. No, it indeed lists just all the things we saw. So yeah, you do need both boxes to play, unless you sort them out separately, which I think I might do. But we'll see how that works. Anyway, these are the contents here, so this is what we're gonna see. All right. Whew. So first of all, we have the Sewer Fever chapter, which is the Redmen expansion, basically, in a thin book with those quests here. Oh, that's a nice piece of art there. Rats. Quest 2. Quest 3. Beast in the Woods. Okay, so there's 3 chapters for the rats. Then we get 3 chapters, I guess, for the gnolls. Yes, gnoll event cards. This takes place in the woods. Also 3 quests. Ashira, the gnoll matriarch. The elven vestiges. So they did, yeah, just chuck it all together in 2 booklets. Quest 2, Quest 3. Tancred is the elven lord. Greedy and Doomed. Here we go. Greedy and Doomed. Abgrawl is oh, they call him a troll. He's a troll. Abgrawl the troll. I thought he'd be an ogre. He looks like one. Yeah, there he is. That's really cool. And then we have the Cthulhu orc. So with that, oh yeah, with these tiles, indeed. That's cool. Okay. So those quests are in here. Then we have Blood for Blood, which is the Barbarian campaign. Quest 1, Quest 2, Quest 3, Ragnar. It's kind of like Conan. We've got the Royal Mines with the dwarves. Quest 1, Quest 2, Quest 3, and Vonkar, the Dwarven King, I guess. Then we have the Death Crypt with the Undead and the Necromancer. Can't have a fantasy adventure game without undead and skeletons. Quest 2, Quest 3, Kardec, the Necromancer. Then we have Wings and Claws. A Tarask and a Gargoyle. We have Varric. Who's Varric? The Gargoyle. There you go. And the Tarask. Look at that. Huge creature. That is super cool. And that has basically a boss battle. OrcQuest, which was the last expansion, which is pretty cool. With the porks, who you can use as enemies, as bosses, or as like anti-heroes. Well, basically everyone here is anti-heroes. They're pink. That is cool. Yes. All right. So first of all, we have a box with minis, and we do have more tiles here. So I'll look at the minis last. We'll take a look at these first. Ooh, and it has plastic trays for all the cards and the tokens. Oh, that's perfect. All right, let's open up this one first. All right, so here we have another outside area with some sheds here, or maybe even tents. They look like poles that were put in the ground with, I don't know, some kind of fur perhaps, like these barbarian tents maybe. Then we have half of the fighting arena, I guess. So we'll see, here's more of those tents. One with a little fireplace. Yep, here's the other half of the arena. So there you go. That looks pretty cool. So we have those. I'll put those here. Oh, then we have the mines, the dwarven mines, I guess. That looks really cool. I really like that with all the little dwarven decorations everywhere. There's a dwarven statue in here as well. And more on the other side. So again, they chose to go with the same theme on both sides. It's a bit unfortunate, to be honest, because you could use them with, you know, any dungeon crawler you're playing, and then make a huge map if you had both sides. But it is what it is. But I do like the way it looks. There's even a minecart track there. Nice. And we have this one. Also double-sided. Another minecart track. So this is mirrored. Yeah, this is simply the same thing, just mirrored. Alright, so we have those. Second package. And this one has another double feature here. So this probably elven room maybe, and an outside area again, grassy, with two of these crypts, it seems. So we have that. Here is the other side, the other half of that. So combined, it looks like this. That's pretty cool. So we have that, and we have more crypts here. So yeah, it is different, but you can connect them. Then we have some more of these inner castle walls, areas. There are some tombs in there. More here, even. So that might be the crypt of the necromancer with the undead. And we have this and that. Yeah, lots of bones there. Yep. And more dwarven mines on both sides. Okay, so we have that. Then we have these trays. I guess the booklets are underneath. Are there any other booklets? No, apparently not. So yeah, the booklets were just the smaller ones then. So I dropped one of them. But here's a tray. I guess this is for the tokens. But I'll have to look and find where everything goes. This is clearly for cards. This also looks like either cards or more tokens. So we have that. I'll try to figure out what goes where. And oh, there's another tray in the bottom of the box. See here we have the hero and I assume the monster cards. So let's open those up and have a look. Alright, that's a whole bunch of cards. I'm gonna go through them quickly. The back of these cards are always just OrcQuest or for the enemies in a different color. So we've got Horus, we've got Thala, it's Thala, the Ranger, Amazork. Okay, that's odd. I would have thought Amazork, but alright. We got Mech, the Goblin Thief, Mandar, the Hobgoblin Warlock, Marides, that's the name, the Priestess. Okay, we got Yoggle, the Leprechaun Priest. Oh, he's a leprechaun. Cool. We got Amza, the Orc Hunter. Don't know what that means. We got Abgral, the Troll Brute. He's an ogre to me. He's got them all. He's an ogre. Rahak, that's the Goblin Druid with the pot belly and the well, it's not a fire elemental then, it's some kind of ghost. That's cool. With Bazook, the demon. We got Urzag, the Orc Paladin. He is an orc then, He's a paladin. Vulcan, the Hobgoblin racer. That's the Hobgoblin one. That's really cool. The Highwayman. We got Skilla. Oh, she's a brownie assassin. I thought that was a dark elf, but it's a brownie. That's interesting. We got Therios, the Minotaur. And he's got a little fairy friend there. That's cool. Had not noticed that before. Then we have the War Dogs, the Peasants, the Gods, the Soldiers, all of the Human Empire, the Knight, the Officer with the grand mustache, the Cockatrix. We got Lothar, the Enchanter. Then we have the Gnolls, who have the Wargs, and Ashira, the Gnoll Matriarch. Then we have the Rats, the Lousy Rat, the Ratskull, and Rag Rat. He has magic. Then we have the Elves with the Archer, the Sacred Maiden, the Dragon Saints, that's what that is, and Tancred, the Elf Lord. And we're back to Abgrol as an enemy. Yes, Abgrol as an enemy. Cthulhu, enemy. We got Hagen, another orc warrior. We got Hekgar, the gnome artificer. Little dude. Jekkar. Oh, Hackle and Jackal. Of course, Hekgar and Jekkar. Hackle and Jackal. Cool. Another gnome warrior, this one. We have Sango, the Orc shaman. So I don't know what the orcs are. They're like skinny orcs or something. We have Castler, one of the porks. We have Bortz, the artificer. Morsilla, Morsilla, the pork witch. That's cool. And we got Haggis, the pork tracker. Then we have Varric, the gargoyle brute, as a hero. Interesting. Then we have the barbarians. This is the young blood barbarian, the berserker, the ogre. So these are ogres here. And Ragnar, the barbarian king. Then we have the dwarven warrior, dwarven royal guard, a gold digger. They have this mech machine. It's pretty cool. And a Vonkar, the dwarf king. We have zombies, skeletons, mummies even, and Kardec the Necromancer. I love this art. The art is just so good. Then we have them as enemies. Castler, the Piglet Hunter, as an enemy. The Pork Hunter. Bortz, the Artificer. Twice again. Morsilla, the Piglet, and the Pork. I guess difficulty. Yeah, there's, increased health and speed. So the Piglets are the easy mode and the Porks are the hard mode. Tracker. Again, only one tracker. Yeah, I guess. One tracker. Alright. And Varric, the gargoyle, as an enemy. Then there's the Tarask. Massive beast. Unlimited hit points. Okay. And then we're back at Oris. So that's a whole bunch of cool looking cards. I'm going to check if there's anything underneath this tray. I don't think so. No, there's not. Alright, so I'll put that back. And I'll put this back in. We got a whole bunch of dice in different colors. We have black, white, and gray with different faces on them. Let's have a closer look actually. So gray, that's black and white. And then we have blue and green. I think that's all the different ones we have, right? Looks like it. So let's see. Let's start with the white one. So the white one has a blank face, another blank face, 3 yellow and 1 orange defense symbol. The gray one also has 2 blank faces, but has 3 orange and 1 yellow, so I guess better defenses. The black one is more offense. It's basically just... Okay, so there is a difference. We have 1, 2, 3 orange swords and 3 red swords, which I guess deal more damage. Then we have a blue die with, let's see, three skulls, 1 burst, and 2 lightning bolts. And the green one has also the same. 3 skulls, 2 lightning bolts, and a burst. Okay, I guess the colors mean something. So I'll put those back. We have a whole bunch. There's just a lot of dice. Nice. I love that. Alright, and then we have a whole bunch of cards. That's a lot of cards. I'm not gonna go through all of those. Are they all in English? I think they are. Yeah, so we don't have like French and English in here. Nope, they're all in English. Oof, that's a lot of cards. I'm gonna sort through these and just quickly highlight them then, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so that was a lot of work, but I've sorted all the cards. I threw all the similar types of cards together, but you can still sort them out because they are marked with their expansion. So for example, here we have a whole stack of loot cards, and the first ones are all the core game, and they have WP for Warpath. So that's all core, you know, game items, loot, so you get weapons and stuff and armor, etc., etc. And then later you have these expansion marks. So do I remember them? PQ is OrcQuest, for example. We have, I can't remember all the names. One of the Greed and something and Doom. And we got HB, we've got GD. So you can easily, EV, Elven Vestiges. So you can easily make them out. So you can separate them and take the cards that you need for a certain quest that you're playing and just set them aside. So I don't know how to separate them here because these are just 6 big slots and we have lots of cards here. So I'm just going to start by putting these here and we'll see how that goes. Then we have crafting cards. So you have a 2-star crafting deck. Again, like all the cards, they have their little markers there. So you have all of these cards that you can craft, which is pretty cool. Whole bunch of them. Lovely art. Some really good art there. I think this is excellent art. Really nicely detailed. This looks amazing. So I'll put these in here as well. And then there's level 3 or 3-star craft cards as well. So yeah, again with the same magnificent art. I really dig this art. This is it's a superb style in my opinion. So we have those craft cards, put those in here. And then finally we have these, I think, relic cards, relics or artifacts, whatever you want to name them. So we have these, you know, fragments of power from the core game, and then some stuff from expansions. EV, Elven Vestiges, etc. Well, you get the idea. Eye of the Tarosk. So I'll put these in here as well, and that fills out nicely. There is room here for sleeving your cards, and we'll have to see how fast this fills up. But I do think this is enough room for having sleeved cards. You'll just have to spread them out a bit more. And we have these, let's see, these are event cards. Yeah, stuff that can happen. You know, so again, core game, and then all the expansions, I put them all behind them. So yeah, we have those. Again, also with cool art in a bluish hue, all of it. So easy to make out. I'll put those here. All right. Then we have these patrol cards, I think. Yes. So these have these double axes or halberds. So patrol card, these have a orange yellow hue. So a whole bunch of those. And I'll put those together with these. There you go. Then we have, well, I had a couple of torch cards from one of the expansion packs. They simply had a torch that's lit or unlit. So I'll just put those here. Then we have these cards. These are enchant cards. They are green and they are horizontal. So you can enchant stuff, you know, sparking wand of thunder or whatever. It's pretty cool. I like that. That's a nice addition. Put those here. Let's see, then we have a whole bunch of monster cards. So I guess the monsters behavior or bosses, even this is all for the cockatrix. So, you know, different kinds of attacks, I guess. Stuff that it can do. And we have one for the cockatrix, for the human lord here. We have a card for the elven deck, for the elven lord, deck of cards, for the gnoll matriarch, for the Cthulhu here. We have one for the troll when you're fighting him as an enemy. We have one for the barbarian king right there. We have one for the dwarven king, a deck for the necromancer, a deck for all the porks. So we have different, the three different porks. Here is the first one, the second one, and the third one. So we have that. And for the gargoyle, if you're fighting the gargoyle as an enemy. So that's a whole bunch of enemy behavior or boss cards. I'll put those here. And then finally, all that's left is all the hero cards. I do have this deck, challenge deck, which is for the Tarask battle. So that's just the Tarask. I'll put that with the other bosses. It's kind of a separate deck there. So, and then you have a whole bunch of these, which all the hero decks come with their own hero cards with points. These are the badass points that you can spend to add cards to your deck, so you have more options to play. And these are free. I guess these three are the cards you get right from the start, because you have a movement, combat, and healing in this case for this hero. And then you have a whole bunch that you can buy and upgrade your character with. And all of these hero decks also came with two event decks specifically for that hero, as you can see by the icon there with their face on it. So I just put those together with these. So yeah, just keep them together. I guess you mix them in the event deck when you're playing with a specific hero, I think. So yeah, we have that for all of the heroes. So here's Mech, and oh, I should put that the other way around, I guess, so I can see from the back of the card. And here is Thala, the Ranger. We have a deck with event cards for the Warrior. I forget the names already. And we have one for this guy. So there's a whole bunch. So we have those. There's literally what? These are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 hero decks. Now that's quite a lot. So those just go all in the bottom, which is great. And then I checked out these two trays, and I put all the tokens in. So I've punched out all the tokens, and I just put them in the way I think they go best. So these are all the monster tokens. So we have the cockatrice and the human boss in the back here with all the human guards and the human enemies. This is all human from the core game. With, that was some extra space left. They have these chickens as well. With the Cthulhu, the ogre, And there's this token as well, which I don't know what it does. The Cthulhu Orc has these tentacle things, and the Tarask and the Gargoyle. Those are all in here. That fills out nicely. This tray has the gnolls, everything, the gnolls, the elves, and the barbarians. This tray has the dwarves. Yeah, everything that was special for the dwarves, and the porks. There's a little bit of room left. This one has the rats, all of the rats stuff, and the undead. So the necromancer. And finally, this tray has traps and these gas clouds, which I guess are also traps. There were some numbered tokens, 1 through 6, exclamation mark tokens, and all the hero tokens. So these are all the green ones where you can play all the characters and the regular heroes. So those are all in here. I felt that made sense. In here I put all the effect, the status effect tokens, all of them together. There is another tray left here, so maybe I will split them out later if that is convenient. I don't know, because there's a lot of different ones and you have to search if you need a specific one. So I might want to split that out for a couple that you use more than others, perhaps. These were some bigger tiles, square tiles with columns and pikes or pit traps. So I put those in there, along with all of these little tiles that have like crates and barrels and weapons, weapon racks. So those all fit in there. So that leaves me with one more slot, which, you know, time will tell. Maybe I'll put something in there as well. I'll put the cards back later. So that goes on here into a slot. There is a slot here, but I don't know. Maybe this fits here better. Is this wider? This should fit over this little, these nubs here. There's a little thing there that hopefully will keep it all in place. But it's on the bottom anyway. And this is basically a card tray for drawing cards for, you know, during gameplay. So I put all the damage tokens in here, because I guess you'll be drawing from this a lot and you'll be drawing cards. Maybe the loot deck, the enemy behavior or patrol deck, and something else. The 3 decks that you use most during the gameplay, I'm guessing. These are all the single door tokens. These are all the double door tokens, along with these, because there's only like 6 of those. I just put them in with those. And these are all the rectangular tokens with the patrol and the orc or the hero entry points. So we have those, and the bigger scenery, I guess, the furniture stuff, like beds and bookcases and whatnot. So I put all of those in here. So that fits as well. So I guess that's the way to do it. And that fits in here. Yeah, this is a bit wider than this one. So this goes on the right, this one goes on the left. So that's all of that. And yeah, I think that's everything. And that means we're down to the final box that was in the second box. The miniatures. Ooh. All right, let's open that up and take a look. Oh, look at the pink of the porks. The gorgeous pink. Let's take a look. Ah. So this is one of the porks. That is very pink, but still super detailed. Really cool. Like the fur cape once again, and got some kind of weapon on the back. Is that I don't know what that is. Just some wood. And he's got a dagger standing on that rock there. Yeah, so that's the first one. This is the female pork. Also really cool, nice and detailed. Also wielding one of those strange staves or whatever that is. And a mace. Yeah, it's funny. And the third one here who has bombs, throwing little bombs there. Got some on the belt as well. Look at that, all these grenades basically. So we have that pork, and then we have the hunter pork, which is the generic, the troop basically. You can play this guy as a hero, but there's more of him, more of this sculpt, because in the pork quests scenario you can encounter lots of these. So a halberd. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of those down here. So we have that. Then we have, let's see, the undead. We have these skeletons, 8 of this sculpt. Cool looking skeleton. Still has their armor on and a shield with a big cross on it and a sword. So that is the skeleton sculpt right there. Then we have 8 of these halberd wielding zombies and a sword. Let's stay in focus there. So that is the zombie on the back. There you go. Like that they sculpted some of the whatever that is on the back, curly stuff, emblems, I guess. And then here is a dwarven warrior with a big axe, stocky fellow. Also has some fur and a dagger. So yeah, we have that. Also 8 of those, and 8 of these Youngblood barbarians in a dynamic pose, running, holding a dagger and a battle axe, or throwing axe perhaps, and a dagger sheath here on the belt. All right, so we have 8 of those. So that's the first tray already. Lots of duplicates there. And then the second tray has more heroes and the Tarask and the big mining suits and everything, and the gargoyle. So let's take a look at the regular barbarian here. Big old barbarian holding a sword. Standing on a bit of rock there as well. Very muscular, square jaw. I really like how all of these miniatures came out. Very detailed, very nice. We have 4 of those, and then you have this big, this is what they call the ogre. It's basically a giant human that fights with the barbarians. A huge axe, very muscular, square dude. He's got some skulls on the belt there, a big pouch. That looks really good. Also in a large base. So you got 2 of those. Then you have this dwarven guard, heavily armored with a warhammer and a shield, a braided beard, like the plate armor with all the embellishments on it, and of course again a fur cape. There's a lot of fur, but I kind of like that. We have the mummies right here, 3 of those. Very tall mummy for the army of the undead. You clearly see all the straps that he was wrapped in. So we have that. Let's see, then we have a couple of these. I guess this is the necromancer, these bosses. I think this is the necromancer. Yeah, he does have a skull on his staff. So yeah, cool. Doesn't really look intimidating like you would expect from a necromancer, but I kind of like that. He's like this hermit who just dabbles in dark magic. Then we have the barbarian king. It's basically Conan right here. Very heroic pose. He's got a long sword there in a sheath. He's Got a skull on the shoulder. Lots of fur, once again. So that's the Barbarian King. Then we have the Dwarven King. Again, very heavily armored. Long beard. Nice axe. Fur cape. They really like their fur capes. Well, that's okay. So that's these sculpts. Then we have this, the Gold Diggers. This is super cool. It's just a dwarf kind of reclined in this this mech mining suit with a drill on one hand and a pickaxe on the other. And I imagine this being made out of brass. Look at the detail here. That's very cool. Also reminds me of the dwarven artifacts from Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls. That's pretty cool. So we have two of those. Then we have some heroes. We have this shaman dude. We did see the card for that earlier. But he looks like a true, like a witch doctor or of old. Something out of Diablo or something, you know, the jungle levels. That's really cool. So we have that. We have the other orc hero barbarian dude, who looks very elaborately dressed with a whole bunch of ornaments. Got skulls on spikes. Got lots of small pieces of armor everywhere. It's got this cool chest piece and a dagger there. Big boots. Some fur over the shoulder. So this is pretty cool. Really nice looking hero. And then we have Hackle and Jackal, as I call them. So the, well, they're what were they again? Not dwarves. I forgot. They also have the raven as a nod to the actual Hackle and Jackal. That's really cool. With plate armor. Looks really cool. So we have that one and the other one who has a blunderbuss and a horned helmet as well. It's got these little either potions or also grenades. I'm betting they're grenades. So yeah, we have those two dudes. And then finally we have the gargoyle, huge gargoyle who can be fought and then recruited and played as a hero. Really cool looking giant gargoyle with a big jaw and the horns. And he does look like he has stone skin. And he has this this pick on a chain. Interesting weapon. He's got the wings, and you can see on the wings all the cracks in the stone. That's very cool. Nice and big figure. Really cool looking gargoyle. And all of these figures would work really well in other games as well. I'm already thinking of using them in other games. And here is finally the Tarask. Giant creature. Not as big as the D&D Tarask, of course, because that wouldn't fit in the box. But this is really, really intimidating. Very cool-looking lizard-like creature with big scales and then horns everywhere, and giant nails and a spiky tail, a Thaginator. And it's got some kind of veins or something along the body, I guess. And yeah, the nose there, nostrils, and the teeth. And I guess the eyes are down here under this ridge. Bit hard to see. But this is excellent. So, those were all the miniatures in the second box here. Big box. And yeah, so that's that. Let's head back up. Okay, hold on. Like Columbo often says, just one more thing. We have this spawn kit, which the instructions tell you to keep assembled Otherwise, you know, if you take it apart every time, it might break. So just take this. It already has these grooves here cut out, so you can easily fold it up with, of course, the logo on the bottom and these cobblestones or these tiles on the inside. So you fold this up and this kind of just clips together like so. It's very easy. Just put that together like that, carefully. There we go. So all of that is assembled, and you have these two pieces, and this one goes in first. This has the notches on the bottom here and these on the top. So just put that anywhere. I'm putting it in the middle like so. And then this one, which has all of the notches on the bottom, goes in like this. And you can tell by the arches which is the top and which is the bottom. So that goes in like this. And this is what you use when spawning a room, if you have a 5x5 room, and that's where you toss your dice. So just keep that assembled. And now what I did is I basically kept everything from both boxes inside their own boxes except the tokens. So all the punch boards from this box I punched and put in the token trays in this box like I showed you earlier. And then I simply kept all of these tiles that came with this box inside this box, just like this. So that just stays where it was. I also put these two booklets that came in this box back in here, but I also put all the other booklets and this nice print here. So I put all of these in here as well. So this all goes in the second box, which leaves room, because remember that this box had punch boards and this piece of cardboard, which I don't need anymore. I did have these three tiles from the punch boards as well. Well, these just go in here on top of these, so you can have all of these smaller tiles here. And I also had these three tokens from the same punch board as this, so I'm just going to keep those in here. You're going to need that anyway. And then you can put this in here quite easily, actually. There's still some room left, so I could in fact put these books in here. After all, doesn't really matter where you put them. So yeah, I'll just put them back. And so you do have room for that. You just might want to get some filling for this, but it does all neatly fit back inside the boxes. And so that was my unboxing of OrcQuest Warpath. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.